Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
You know, I'm all excited, because, again, we're right here in the middle of it, man. I mean, we've had an opportunity to see some live high school football in a scrimmage that we saw last week against Carver and Southwest DeKalb. We also had an opportunity to go to the Falcons' first exhibition game on last week to see them against the Titans. So, it's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill. DJ, everybody's preparing, everybody's ready. There's a lot of places that are closing practices now, so it's getting down to serious business.
Absolutely. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to have an opportunity to talk a little bit more extensively about the Atlanta Falcons and how they're looking so far in the preseason. We're going into week 2 of a preseason. Also, we'll have an opportunity to play back a very popular conversation that Dale and I had in Birmingham at the SEC Media Days, talking about some of the questions that most of the media asked the head coaches: cost of attendance, of course, the draft grades, and all of that stuff. We'll have opportunity to play that back for you by popular demand. Also, we'll have an opportunity to chime in on All-Pro James Harrison's decision to have his kids turn those trophies back in or give them back because of participation. Dale, you have a son, and I know you're looking forward to talking about that.
I'm looking forward to that one right there, DJ. Well said, James Harris.
All right. All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
I thought you said this guy was the best.
Oh, he's a horrible stylist.
But he's the best at paying claims fast.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Paid mine in just one day.
One day?
Yeah.
Wow.
In just one day, we approve and pay. One day pay, only from Aflac.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, come see us at Express Motors, 1210 14th Street, Phoenix City, Alabama. Or give us a call, 334-384-9101, with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. In-house financing, the right vehicle at the right price for you. We don't want all your business, just yours. Come see us, 1210 14th Street, Phoenix City, Alabama, or go online, www.expressmotorspc.com. Welcome back to Sports Visions. Most recently, Pittsburgh Steelers All-Pro linebacker James Harrison, and he's a beast and a freak of nature. He's a guy who, he made it against the odds. He was an undrafted free agent. Of course, he was a walk-on in college, but now he's a 5-time All-Pro, and of course, into his 15-16 season in the National Football League with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, his sons, he has 2 sons that play, I believe it was football, and they received some trophies for participation. No, it wasn't a trophy because they were the most valuable or the most improved. They just received an award because they were on the team. And he had a problem with that. He decided to explain to his young kids that, life is not free. Competition is what the name of the game is. So he decided to send the trophies back to the coach.
I think it was a well done by James Harrison. I think, DJ, I've said it all along. I got a kid, playing in this era and this time. You go out, you play, everybody gets a trophy, especially in Pop Warner when you're starting off. I never did agree to that. Really, I played on football teams where I didn't get a trophy because I didn't play good enough to get a trophy. I always liked the fact that if you play good, you get recognized, and I think that helps you in life. Just because your mama paid your registration fee and just because you were on the team with all 15 to 20 other guys, you don't get a trophy, DJ. I'm just hard, say it like it is. I'm just hard like that. But at the same time, when he speaks about competition, I think that spills over because it's about winning and losing. And I think really if you don't do nothing, you don't deserve nothing.
Very well said. My hat's off to James Harrison as well. A lot of people might not necessarily like James Harrison because he's so tough and hard. But the bottom line is this guy was a blue-collar guy.
Right.
He earned everything he has. And, of course, 5 times as a Pro Bowler when you're coming off of being a walk-on in college and then, of course, an undrafted free agent and making it to those types of accolades in the National Football League, the best football league in the world. I think he knows a little bit about competing. And to teach his kids, again, that's a good lesson not only just for his kids, but it's for everybody's kids. I mean, you and I both know that when we play the game, obviously, it's all about incentives. You don't get something if you don't deserve something. So what does that set you up for later on in life if you're just given, a trophy just being on the team?
Yeah. Paying your way through.
Paying your way through because your mom and dad were, diligent in the concession stands. They raised the most money. You sold the most ads.
Yeah, come on.
You get a trophy. No,
Yeah.
you know what? There's a time and place for those things. But at the same time, when you're on a field, on a team, competing as a team, and of course you have individuals that are responsible for superlative and accolades. You know what? They should be rewarded, and I know that we were brought up that way. And here, I know we talked about it. And as your son was coming up through the ranks here in the last 5, 6, 7 years,
yes,
everybody, all these banquets, you got 100 trophies in there, and everybody gets trophies.
Yeah, but that's, to me, man, that's just misleading. I mean, really setting your kid up to fail just because you're a part of a team. Doesn't mean you get a trophy all the time. And I think really it spills over to adulthood in the sense that, there's a lot of guys want to ride with us, DJ. We always talk about that. It's a lot, but they don't want to put the work in. Some people just want to wear the uniform, and they don't care about playing. With me and where we were raised, I want to play. I want to get on the field. I want to do my thing. I want to earn my trophy. Because I'm going to tell you something about that trophy. Let your son get one trophy and earn that trophy, and you don't have to worry about him again, DJ. I mean, really, I can remember the first trophy I ever got in baseball. I was so proud of that trophy, DJ, man. I put it in the window. You know how we used to do? We used to put it in our bedroom window and just proud of that trophy because you earned it and you felt special. Getting a trophy when you don't deserve a trophy, it doesn't mean anything.
And just let me share this with you folks. Don't get it twisted. We are very compassionate. It's all about getting better, being the best that you can be. You don't have to be the fastest, the biggest, the strongest. You don't even have to be the best. But as long as your kid is giving his all, that's all that matters to us.
That's
and again, when you get rewarded for giving your all, going 100%, hustling, having a good attitude, doing what you're supposed to do, then that's when I think you should get rewarded.
That's when you should get rewarded. I mean, I'll give you a brief story. The best trophy I ever got, DJ, was when I made the Scout Team Player of the Year at Georgia. Walking on, coming in, got Scout Team Player of the Year. That is the most significant trophy I ever got because I played my way on the field. I played my way through and got on a scholarship, played at the University of Georgia just because of what I did. But that trophy motivated me. And I look at that trophy still today. That's probably the best trophy I've ever gotten.
All right. When we come back, we're going to show you some of the, or at least we're going to explain to you and talk about some of the most sought-after questions that the head coaches in the SEC at the media days were asked. All that coming up next.
Sports Vision is sponsored by Aflac, Crown Royal, Express Motors, Diverse Powers.
Scott Sawyer with Diverse Power. Diverse Power wants our customers to enjoy all the benefits that reliable, consistent electric service provides. Our BPI certified technicians offer duct blaster testing of your HVAC ductwork to locate leaks. We also offer a full blower door examination that will qualify homeowners and home builders to meet the new Energy Code building standards. At Diverse Power, we offer innovation through vision, quality through service.
4 of the top 5 Marriott golf courses are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Alabama. Ross Bridge, Grand National, Capitol Hill, and the Grand Hotel were named their favorite golf resorts by guests of Marriott and Renaissance Hotels of North America. 4 out of 5 is a pretty good average. Take it from those who've been there and book a trip to the trail. Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com.
Stop by these locations to pick up your free copy of Sportsvisions magazine. Hilton Garden Inn, Chester's Barbecue, and Express Motors.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. It seems that there's been a lot of the same questions being asked by a lot of the sports writers to the coaches, and I think it's proper for us to go ahead and get into it. Cost of attendance is the cover name for paying the players.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of questions were asked to all the coaches, but finally the players are going to get an opportunity to get some extra spending money.
I think really, DJ, that's great. Whatever way they want to spend it, it's been good. These guys being able to get some of that money and how much it is, I don't think it matters. I think really they're going to keep it on level playing field. It's not a recruiting tool, I think what a lot of people were thinking, but just to see them upgrading and really giving these guys a better quality of life. I think that's big time.
It's definitely big time, and to know that you have some extra money coming in, and again, for those folks out there who don't know what the cost of attendance is, of course, the NCAA have voted that they are actually giving the opportunity for the schools to increase their scholarship value by giving these players some extra spending money.
It's big, man. You know, everybody, you have the people that are against this is like saying, a scholarship is enough. And a scholarship is not enough for a kid. Kid needs some pocket money. Kids need to have some money to even just go to the movies, just to clean his clothes, put gas in his car, if he has a car. So I'm really big for that. And really, when you start talking about $458 million that the SEC brought in and $31 million split among 14 schools, yeah, give them some money.
NCAA, we're proud of you for a job well done. Let's move on to another question that was obviously the satellite camps that have popped up here the last couple of years. Most recently, Michigan, of course, Coach Harbaugh, the newly hired Michigan coach, came into Prattville, Alabama to set up a camp. Now, again, this has been going on for a couple of years, and the coaches were asked questions about that. And Nick Saban, in particularly, is one that he's the face of SEC football as far as coaches are concerned. Right. But for the most part, I think that the coaches want an even playing ground. If this is going to continue, they want to make sure that everybody can do it.
Exactly right, DJ. I'm with Nick on that. If they can come down, other conferences can come down in our area, in our really territory, because everybody's recruiting nationally now anyway. But if they have the right to come in our territory, I think really same thing with the SEC guys. If Nick want to go to Michigan and recruit some kids, let us have a satellite camp up there, because it is what it is. It's basically recruiting. It's off recruiting time, I think, really, that Nick had an issue about also. But really, if another conference can do it, we got to have a level playing field here in the Southeastern Conference also.
I heard Coach Malzone with Auburn say something related to this particular instance, is that he's saying, hey, if some other school can come into Alabama and take away a recruit from Auburn or Alabama, so be it. He almost said as if, he doesn't care, because he doesn't think that they would lose the top players in the state to a school that's not in the state or in the conference coming into Georgia having a camp.
Yeah, and really, I think I agree with him on that also, but I think also at the end of the day, it helps the players too, because more people will come and be being recruited by more people, helps that kid, helps that player. If somebody comes from Michigan in, to recruit an extra kid in Alabama and Auburn are not recruiting these guys, and he's right there in Alabama, I think that's great for the kid, because again, somebody is watching this kid, and really with the days, what's going on in college football today, everybody still is trying to get the elite player, and they're recruiting nationally.
Now, one of the other topics of discussion, as far as obvious questions that the media had for the coaches, it was with regards to draft grades from the NFL. It just so happens that these grades come out right before the bowl games, and I know that a lot of coaches' concerns are when they're focusing on bowl games and even playoffs, the teams that do make it to the playoffs and to have opportunity to compete for a national championship, receiving these draft grades from the NFL at that particular time, it hinders the player, whether he's a first-round draft choice or whether he was a first-round draft choice and finds out that he's not a first-round draft choice.
I agree also. I think really the deadline right now is December 15th. Well, December 15th is right in between bowl practice, whether you're at bowl practice, playing a championship game, and even better than that, a playoff game. So I think that really is a big distraction. Why not wait till the whole season is over with, get the kid evaluated, and then he can focus on one thing at a time. But in the midst of closing out a football season, you're playing a rival game, you're playing a championship game, if you're fortunate, you're playing in a playoff game, and you're still thinking about the NFL. If you're going to be a number one draft choice in the midst of all that, DJ, you're going to be a number one draft choice in January too, when you really can say, okay, all the football is over with, and sit down and make a logical decision.
And the theme of that particular message is that, of course, you're losing focus. You got to stay focused. And if you're a draft choice, or you find out some information from the NFL prior to the season being over, either you're going to shut it down to keep yourself healthy, or you're going to lose focus psychologically if you're not going to go, or if you're not as evaluated as high as you think you should be. And that's what the coaches are most concerned with.
They're concerned with that, but the focus piece is big. You got a lot going on, and really, DJ, even in that little break between finals, and let's not forget the final piece. series, finals, a bowl game, a championship game. There's a lot going on, holiday season. But I think really, you just have to evaluate the situation. But I think really need more time than December 15th player.
Last but not least, agents. Agents and the accessibility to players is so easy. And you and I both know we lived, even back when we were playing, the dormitory that we lived in, it's so easy for anybody to walk up off the street, knock on the door, and approach and make a presentation right then and there.
That's right. I mean, really, it's real easy. It's an open door policy. I think the relationship between college football and the NFL has grown over the years and gotten a whole lot better. But still, there is some ways to get to the players, and there's always going to be a system. Whether you got to get another student to get to this guy for you, or you just hanging around on campus, it's easily and real with the social media piece and everything that goes on. It's still going to be very easy access to these kids.
I want to add a little footnote to that, but thank God for the Todd Gurley rule. Again, when you're talking about sports memorabilia today, and again, those folks that are enticing these athletes with money to sign jerseys, to sign cards and posters, and then they turn around and sell it. And then the kid ends up getting, he's getting the bad end of the deal.
Yeah.
Now, if you get caught doing that, if you are a person in the memorabilia business, you go to jail, you get fined. So now passing the buck and putting the responsibility on the individual, that adult who has come to that young student athlete looking for profit and also jeopardizing the eligibility of that athlete.
That's probably the only good thing that came out of that Todd Gurley situation is to protect the player and make sure that the people that are perpetrating and really the plaintiff, so to speak, if they ask for the autograph, the memorabilia, and all that stuff, they got a price to pay also, and not just let somebody just go ahead and just throw money at this kid, get the memorabilia, get the kid in trouble, and nothing happens to them. I think really that is that's real big.
A lot of good information, and that's one of the pure pleasures of coming to SEC Media Day. We get to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. The coaches, of course, throwing those questions out there. What are the concerns? What are the new topics? What's going on? How are you going to handle this situation? And again, we had a great idea and found out all about that.
I mean, really, it's great situation. It's great to come every year, DJ, to get this kind of information, behind the scene look at really what goes on in the SEC and in college football.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Sports Vision is sponsored by Aflac, Crown Royal, Express Motors, Diverse Powers, Hilton Garden Inn, Chick-fil-A, Columbus Tech, Chester's Barbecue, ENS.
Hello, football fans. Coming up August 31st, our college football picks of the week. And that's right, it's brought to you by our good friends from Mercedes-Benz of Columbus.
Each week during the 2015 college football season, Sportsvision will pick 7 of the top college games around the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and the Pac-12. Viewers in the Chattahoochee Valley will stop by Mercedes-Benz of Columbus to fill out their pick forms and receive a free test drive voucher. The form must be turned in before 12 o'clock on game day. The customer with the most winning picks will win a complimentary prize brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Columbus. The winner automatically qualifies for the grand prize, round-trip ticket for 2 to the SEC Championship game in Atlanta, Georgia. So stop by Mercedes-Benz of Columbus to fill out your form.
The Mercedes-Benz summer event is here. Now get the unmistakable thrill and the incredible rush of the Mercedes-Benz you've always wanted. But you better get here fast.
Hey, Daddy's here.
Here you go, honey.
Thank you.
Because a good thing like this won't last forever. See your authorized dealer for an incredible offer on the exhilarating C300 Sports Sedan. But hurry, offers end soon.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. It's now time for our Atlanta Falcons report. And I know that we had an opportunity to see a very productive offensive effort in the first drive, an initial drive of the Atlanta Falcons in their first preseason game in the Dome against the Tennessee Titans. Matty Ice and, of course, Julio Jones were able to lead the team right down the field, stick it in the end zone, 3 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown for Julio Jones. And you know that obviously the best thing about that is that the offensive line kept Matty Ice clean, and when they keep him clean, it's no stopping the Atlanta Falcons offense.
Hey, really, they just picked off from last year. I think really, 7 for 7 on the first drive, hitting Julio Jones on probably, 5 of those 7 passes. I think at the same time, everybody knows that Julio Jones is the baller that he is. Matt Ryan looks for him. But the only thing really that I looked at offensively, that I'm having a problem thinking about it just for the running game and the Roddy White piece, DJ. I'm kind of concerned about Roddy White, not just Matt Ryan and not throwing to him. I still think he's kind of gimpy, man.
Well, we love and respect Roddy White for what he's meant in the Atlanta Falcons offense. But again, he's getting a little long in the tooth, and he's had some injuries. And, just watching Roddy and of course, over the years of following him, he walks like he is gimpy. He's limping a little bit, and you don't know if that's because of, that's just the way he walks. Or to me, it's not just the way you walk. He's favoring, some aches and pains. But you know what? Like I said, Roddy White has put in work. And if he has another year in him, God bless him. I hope he can help and become that great tandem that they have been, and of course lead this Atlanta Falcons team into the playoffs. But on the defensive side, didn't see or hear a whole lot from Vic Beasley. Right. Know that there's a lot more football to be played. Of course, I know that the Falcons are on the road. We're on the road this weekend, but the bottom line is Vic Beasley has to step up and really be the guy that they took at that number 8 spot. He has to prove that he's worthy of being there, because that's really, really high for him not to be an impactful player.
I think really, the expectations are very high for Vic Beasley, DJ, but one thing that I was really impressed about was that the Atlanta Falcons defense, they did a great job running to the football, creating turnovers. That's big. And if Flynn brings anything from the Seattle standpoint, is turning over, getting turnovers on defense. They did a good job with that. I think Vic Beasley is going to be, he's still a project, but at the same time, as long as they got team defense, DJ, and running to the football like they ran to the football, they put on a nice job. They did a nice job with the pass rush, but scripting the quarterback, recovering fumbles and interception. That's big for the Atlanta Falcons.
It is, and again, they're playing with a lot more enthusiasm, a lot of high-tempo type players. These guys, like you said, they're running all over the field. 11 hats are chasing the ball. It reminds me somewhat of a college defensive team, because these guys are really, really active. But again, they have a lot of youth, and it is expected of these guys to really perform, because again, when you were number 30 out of 32 last year as the defensive team, there's room for a lot of improvement.
There's room for a lot of improvement. The other piece that I think that we did not get to see is the running game. The Devontae Freeman piece, the Jacquez piece with him playing. These guys are hurt. I think they're all a leg weary, DJ, but I think really when they start the season, they're going to have fresh legs, but they definitely need a running game, because Matty Ice can't throw the ball 40 times. He can, but if he has to throw the ball 40 times, the Falcons are going to be in trouble.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. And I know that, again, it's very early in camp still. These running backs that they have, I don't know if these are the types of running backs that can carry the load. They're smaller running backs. They're not 3-down running backs. And I know that the Falcons signed a veteran running back that had played in the league a couple of years ago. And I don't know if that's going to be the answer. But realistically, a lot of folks, I'm sure, are wondering, if they're going to throw their hat in the ring for Ray Rice.
Wow. I think that would be from the PR standpoint. I don't know if Arthur Blanks wants that. I think Atlanta being a pro-women, a league of women nation town, they probably would raise hell about that, to be honest. But at the same time, I think they need a running back. Whatever running backs are out there, Antoine Smith piece. Antoine Smith is a game breaker. Devontae Freeman, he can take it the distance. But they're going to need a big grinder in there in a minute, DJ.
They are going to need a big grinder. But again, when you talk about the other things off the field with the Falcons, as far as all the festivities and all the, game day promotions, everything is set, because, they take great pride in, of course, putting on a great show for their fans. Now, I know that a lot of folks have already forgotten how the Falcons were fined for pumping crowd noise into the dome. And I know this year, hopefully, the play on the field will remedy the fact that they can, of course, create natural crowd noise without having to worry about that again.
You're right about that, DJ. And, like I said, winning solves everything.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Stop by these locations to pick up your free copy of Sportsvisions magazine: Hilton Garden Inn, Chester's Barbecue, and Express Motors.
But you said this guy was the best.
Oh, he's a horrible stylist.
But he's the best at paying claims fast.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Paid mine in just 1 day.
1 day?
Yeah.
Wow.
In just 1 day, we approve and pay. 1 day pay, only from Aflac.
Bold as bourbon, smooth as crown.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. It's always good, as we have done over the past few weeks, to go back into the interviews, the conversations that we had in Birmingham with the SEC Media Days, because that's where it all happens. That's where you get it from the horse's mouth. And, of course, those were some very interesting topics that we had an opportunity to explain and talk about to our viewers.
That's right. I mean, a lot of stuff, a wealth of stuff, and really just speaking on the kind of the summary that we gave from the SEC Media Day, DJ, with the magazine coming out. We kind of talk about a lot of things that we couldn't talk about on air, but at the same time, it's a lot and a lot of stuff that's coming out with our magazine.
Absolutely. And again, the James Harrison piece, when we talk with regards to the kids and awards and incentives, you know what, it's a big thing that to start the kids out early, knowing that they have to earn their keep. And again, when you start them out early, giving them things, then obviously, it'll become that much more difficult for them as they get older.
That's right, man. Really, it stunts their growth. And at the same time, when you grow, it's got some pain. You heard of growing pains? Those are things like growing pain, but you don't want to hinder a kid growth by letting them continue to accept things that are just given to them. I think really one of the biggest things that happened with me growing up is that I had to earn some stuff. It ain't nothing wrong with earning your stuff, making your own money, doing what you need to do, but that giving piece can hinder your growth.
And again, what's most important, and as far as I'm concerned, and most coaches, they will tell you this, is that your kid does not have to be the biggest, strongest, or fastest. Although, again, you want those talented and you want those types of kids, but the bottom line is, as long as that kid is giving his best effort, he's doing the things that you're asking him to do, he's being disciplined, I don't see why that kid can't find a place and can't find success within that sports or that organization.
That's right, DJ. You said a mouthful there, and it's just like the kid that's in class. The kid that stands out to me all the time is not the smartest kid, not the nicest kid, but it's the kid that shows the most improvement. That is big with me, because everybody is not an A student, everybody's not a B student, but that most improved student, the kid that continues to get better and better and better with a spirit of excellence, that's the kid I want, man.
Absolutely. And also, last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons, of course, making leaps and bounds, getting better and better, and certainly looking forward to them, of course, taking care of business in the preseason so that they can transition into the regular season without missing a beat.
Not missing a beat. And one thing that I did feel from the Atlanta Falcons fan, they have no room for losing this year.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.